I'm one of those lames that can't even afford the cheap seats. But one thing's for sure, the Game Awards is the new E3. The defense mode switching to attack mode. And when the hell did the Game Awards become the safe haven for everyone to reveal their games all of a sudden? Like, I thought everyone just revealed games like on either the PlayStation State of Play or the Nintendo Direct. That's where all the games get announced now. Like, I could have sworn for sure that's where all the games get announced. All of a sudden, the Game Awards from last year. And yes, I know, I made a thing called Game of the Year predictions. I was hoping Astrobot was going to win. Astrobot did win. I was going to watch the show afterwards and then make a video on it, but then life started life, and I never got a chance to watch the whole damn thing, and I never made a video about it. I was supposed to make a video celebrating Astrobot winning Game of the Year, because that's the game I wanted to win. But like I said, life be doing its thing. So I never got a chance to get back to it. So this is me being able to finally say hip hip hooray. Even though it's been 6-7 months now. I'm glad Astrobot won. That's the game I wanted to win. Bada boom, bada bing. But there's another video I wanted to make, and that's this one. The Game Awards is new E3. Now, obviously, this video is not going to get any views because it's not relevant to Game Awards. It's happening already. It happened freaking 6 months ago. Or 7 months ago. But it's still worth saying it is the new E3. Just based on the game reveals. Because everyone, the only reason we cared about E3 was the game reveals. What games are coming and can't wait to get. That's all. You didn't give a shit about nothing else. All of the fucking, talking and people, like, the one thing I liked about E3 is that, it went straight to talking about the games. Everyone was there. Xbox, PlayStation, I guess Nintendo used to be there at one point. They would all come out, they would reveal their console, whatever gimmicky thing they could reveal for the console that year, and then we went into the main developers of the next few games coming out, and you were excited. You couldn't wait to see the trailer, you couldn't wait to them talk about it, they'll show you some behind the scenes. It was beautiful. And that's what we cared about E3 the most. So now that's been transferred over to the Game Awards. Unfortunately, I don't like the Game Awards as much. Why I don't like it as much? Because the same reason you probably don't like it as much. A whole lot of Hollywood bullshit. Entertainment bullshit. Just fucking, look, when you announce the awards, do it like the Game Awards needs like a comedian or someone, like an MC, a host of some kind. Like the Oscars needed it. The Grammys, who cares about the Grammys? But I think the Grammys used to have them. I don't know if they still have them. But like, the Game Awards needs some better host other than the guy who runs the shit, who tries to get everyone excited, and then they have to follow Muppet Show, and it's all freaking corny and gay. They're trying to be so much like Hollywood. Don't be like Hollywood. Hollywood is already dying. Hollywood is on its way out of here. Pretty soon it's just gonna be the streaming services where you watch movies and shit. Alright? Stop trying to be Hollywood and be all entertainment and showman and all this shit. Just shut the fuck up. Make the developers come out and announce their games. Make them talk about the games and then announce the award. Have someone come on stage. The award for best whatever the fuck is this motherfucker, that motherfucker, this motherfucker, that motherfucker, and the winner is this motherfucker. To have the guy come out, let him say his piece, thank you guys, thank the fans. Like what Brady Mac said at the Grammys. Now when he was at the Grammys, when he did that award show, you can look it up on YouTube. Thank the fans, thank you to your publisher, thank the people you work with, maybe thank the Lord, your mom or something, and then sit down. A lot of these people win the awards don't even speak English. They have to have a translator next to them. It's pretty boring. And then the problem with the Game Awards is that there are too many. That's a problem with all these award shows. There's too many categories. Like, they literally had like a 45-minute pre-show where a whole bunch of people won games, and they didn't even go on stage. They literally were like on the side of the show with the camera just pulled up, with the person already won just waiting in the background for them to announce them. Be like, oh my God, thank you so much for this award that's not even on the main show. Appreciate it. And then they walk off. Like I think Street Fighter, I think Tekken 8 won one. Astrobot won the best family. Too many awards, man. You ever heard of what less is more? Like, why does the Game Awards have to be so drawn out? Have like at least 10 awards and make them matter. Best game, best story, like the things that people actually care about. No one cares about the best graphic design and all that shit. Just make the ones that people care about, the best this, the best that, and leave it at that. But the main thing about the Game Awards show, let's be real, the only thing we care about the Game Awards is who wins best game. That's all I cared about. You didn't tell me, you didn't see me caring about anything else. Who's gonna win best fighting game? How many fighting games come out even that often? It's just gonna be Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all on the fucking triple threat. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, that's it. Everything else is fucking secondary. So that's all we care about. It's like, well, who's gonna win this time? Let's play tag. Is Mortal Kombat this year or is Street Fighter or Tekken? Tekken won. Hooray! Not that many categories. Games don't come out as frequently as they used to. We needed the Game Awards back in the NES days. when there's 1,000 games in the whole fucking life cycle. Games are coming out every few months. That's competition. Games take so long to come out now. How many Game Awards can you have for 1 year? Like, you'd have to have a Game Awards for every 3 to 4 years or 5 years to round them all up, and then that'll be major competition. But not enough games come out that often to be having a fucking Game of the Year. Like, anyone can win Game of the Year at this point. You know, it's like being the number one. It's like being a number one box office draw on the box office, or like being number one in the fucking Billboard 200 charts. Like, it doesn't mean nothing anymore. Like, you don't have to even do that well to fucking be number one. The Game Awards is just, not enough games come out often enough. Astro Bot was a shoo-in for me because, yeah, Wukong is a cool Chinese game, but it's not like it's anything groundbreaking. Final Fantasy Rebirth was cool. The Metaphor, which is Persona, without the name Persona in it, you know, except away from the school, and it's more, you know, I guess fantasy or whatever. It's fine. But it's not like it's doing anything different. It's actually Rebirth 7, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth did anything different. The first one did a lot different. The first remake, but Rebirth is just an enhance of what remake was. And then Wukong is not like that game is that fucking original. I know it's by a Chinese company and everyone likes it, but it's basically a Dark Souls inspired kind of game. So it's not really that unique. I know a lot of you are gonna say, well, what about Astro Bot? That's not really unique. It's a freaking platformer. Yeah, but how many platformers do we get anymore? But let me rephrase that. How many original platformers do we get anymore? You know, besides Mario and Crash Bandicoot, which now that series is once again in limbo again. But like, how many original platformers we get from a big developer? Like, I'm talking about a big developer. I'm not talking about a fucking indie project. I'm talking about how many fucking like AAA fucking platformers you get that's not named Mario or doesn't come from Nintendo. Or isn't Ratchet and Clank and isn't Crash Bandicoot. The name stays. I'm talking about a brand new platformer, original IP platformer on a main fucking console, AAA one, AAA freaking platformer game that's original, has original ideas and all this shit. That game deserves to win Game of the Year over everyone else. Alright? It was the upset victory and it was the game that needed to win. Because platformers used to run amok in the gaming industry, and now it's damn near a dying art form. And I just love to see the underdog win, especially when the underdog is a very good game. Now, I'm not saying the other games aren't great. Like Metaphor and Persona is not my cup of tea because of the whole, you know, take you out of the dungeon because you ran out of MP, so you go ahead and do some slice of life shit. It's like, let me do what I feel like doing. Don't control what I do and when you want me to do it. Let me have some fucking freedom. But Metaphor is fine, Rebirth is fine, Wukong is fine. The thing is, Wukong, they didn't even get that. Even if you're personally you love Wukong, their critical reviews were not that great. You know, shouldn't the game have like high critical reviews like Astro Bot did? Astro Bot, I think, had the more highest critical reviews than everybody. It made sense for it to be, you know, be the one that wins. And it's the most accessible game. Anyone can play it. Your brother, your little niece, your older brother, someone who's nostalgic for platformers like I was, anyone can get into it. You can't say the same thing with Wukong, which is just another Dark Souls. And if it really is a Dark Souls clone, then it's gonna be hard as hell, and that's hardcore gamers. Rebirth, hardcore gamers, you know, because that's a nostalgia game. Freaking Metaphor, just Persona with fantasy elements. And I forgot the other game that no one cares about, but I'm glad it won. But look at all the games that got announced now. We got we got a whole bunch of games announced at the Game Awards all at once. Like this, it's kind of shocking how now this has really become the new E3 platform for revealing your games. You know, this year there's gonna be more games getting revealed too. A whole bunch of rehashes. I'm looking at the list now. The Elden Ring, which is like Elden Ring, you know, doing an enhancement of the original game. I don't think this is a full sequel. I think this is just, you know, extra like DLC-ish kind of territory. But we got a new Elden Ring, apparently. We got for the long-awaited sequel to The Witcher 3, which I never played, but a lot of people love. We got that announced. We got Virtual Fighter, a new Virtual Fighter game, which is, you know, crazy to actually bring that game back. We have a new Mafia game coming out. We have Borderlands 4, finally the sequel to Borderlands coming out. We have fucking a reboot of Turok, that fucking Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs instead of zombies game, getting a freaking sequel. That's crazy. I remember the only time I played Turok was like on a demo for one of the Resident Evil games, and I remember thinking, this is Resident Evil with dinosaurs. I mean, it was crazy. But like the fact that they're actually remaking that game, I know it has a cult following, but the fact that they're remaking that game, that reboot of that game, that's crazy. And then we have an Okami sequel. That critically acclaimed, never fucking had a sequel game, fucking getting a sequel all these years. We have Ninja Gaiden making a comeback. Shit, the last Ninja Gaiden game that came out, I remember, was on the Wii U. And that was probably just a remaster of the Ninja Gaiden that came out like on the PS3 and all that shit. Or the PS3 and then the 360. So Ninja Gaiden's making it. Sega's making a lot of comebacks with their games, which is pretty interesting. And then on top of that, the game I'm looking forward to the most, I'm about to take it a class and action game. Onimusha has always been one of my favorite games of all time. I remember the first time I played on the PlayStation, fell in love with it. I remember my favorite one actually being the third one that came on the PS2. I love that game to death. And that was one of the first games that actually took like a real, like they did the Mortal Kombat thing where they took the real life actor and, you know, I pretty much downloaded his whole freaking face and everything and put it into a game. But I remember Onimusha being one of my favorite games from Capcom. One of my favorite games that Capcom made, and they straight up just stopped making them. So, I think they made one bad game or one or two bad games and then stopped, which is, you know, typical. But the fact that game is making a comeback, that's the one that shocked me the most. I heard about all these remakes. Turok is probably the second most shocking game to kind of have a remake. Ninja Gaiden, Kami behind that, then Ninja Gaiden. But the one that shocked me the most was Onimusha, and the one that got me most excited was Onimusha. So between Astro Bot winning Game of the Year and Onimusha finally making a comeback, I actually really loved this. I really loved the game. Not enough to watch the whole Game Awards, because let's face it, this is not the pre-internet days where we have to freaking watch a whole fucking show just to watch the part we want to watch. You can watch that shit later. You can put it in record. You can watch clips on YouTube. I watched Onimusha trailer on YouTube. I watched Astro Bot win, and that's all I needed to see, really. A lot of the other games winning was cool, but like this is something you have to watch live. You can't just watch it later because you'll be bored out of your mind. And then, you know, that's a lot of the corny things they keep putting in the middle of the Game Awards is whatever. But the Game Awards has officially took an E3 spot. E3's been dead for fucking forever now. And the Game Awards has finally become not just the place to see games, you know, the game you love that year fucking win an award that you like. But now it's become the freaking official place to announce your new game or your reboot or whatever the hell you're doing. And that makes the Game Awards more exciting to watch rather than just seeing who's going to win Game of the Year this year. Now we have an added bonus of now seeing, you know, games that, you know, might get announced or rebooted or whatever. You finally get them, finally get to see those games come out. So that's good. So that's a beautiful thing. So we finally get to see a whole bunch of games that are about to come out. They're probably not going to come out anytime soon. But hey, now this is the place now to make your announcements. If it's not the State of Play, because you know the State of Play, really only Sony is gonna announce their first-party AAA games. They're gonna announce their games there. Nintendo, they're the Rex, they're gonna announce their games there. But outside of the freaking PlayStation and Nintendo or whatever the hell Xbox is doing and their bullshit, if they even have their version of a State of Play or the Nintendo Direct, you know, we now have outside of that vortex of the fucking console makers and the games the first party titles they make, we finally got a new spot for a whole bunch of games to get revealed all at once to be excited for the Game Awards. Now we get a 2-for-1 special. See whatever your favorite game is for that year, win an award, and see a whole bunch of games get revealed. So the Game Awards is now took an E3 spot. Rest in peace to E3. We'll never forget ye. And now long live the Game Awards, I guess. This is Attack Mode. This is Back to Defense Mode. I'm out.